expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, this is Brother Mike back on the radio. Yes. Welcome to the program. Today's Bible study, Sex, American Psychological Association style. They came out with another article, and it's a beaut. When you hear this, welcome to all my KXXT Christian radio listeners here in Arizona. Welcome to all my friends around the world on the web, darkskyradio.com. Thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in tonight. This radio program is a little bit too much for kids, so hide the women and children on this one. Would you make a call and tell people not to tune into this radio program tonight? This one's a little bit too salty. Thank you for blocking people from listening. Say, this is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center in Central Phoenix, Arizona. We're downtown, 15th Avenue, south of Osborne Road. If you go to the website, hardcorechristianity.com, you'll see all of our services there. Of course, we have 2 services every week. Friday night is my teaching service, my radio listeners. Thursday night is a house on fire. The healing rooms are booming Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. We have so many people coming. It's quite remarkable. And the healings and deliverances have been just incredible. Rick and the team are killing this thing at 7 p.m. Also, we have the mental illness healing class for born-again Christian. It's the only class like it anywhere in the United States. Please send someone who's a born-again Christian who's suffering from a mental illness. There's no reason for them to sit home, hearing voices, suffering from bipolar, suffering from an anxiety disorder, suffering from clinical depression. Don't leave them home when they can come and get healed and get help. I've seen virtually every mental illness in the world healed, completely cured, off medication, the whole business, Holy Ghost style. On the website, you'll see our radio archives. You'll sign up for one of our free seminars. You can hit the PayPal button and send us another donation. We're very grateful for that. 17 years of it. God bless you. And you can send another referral to Sister Karen. She's on the homepage of the website. She'd love to list your house for sale. She loves working with born-again Christians. Sex, APA style. The American Psychological Association has done it again. Check out this article. I used to subscribe to their magazine, Psychology Today, many years ago when I was a secular counselor. I was a secular counselor for 25 years here in the Phoenix area, but since 2005, when I retired, sold my business, laid off my employees, and opened up the House of Healing in Central Phoenix, and we saw thousands of people delivered from demons and hundreds of people healed at that facility. We sold that building. It's gone now, and the Arizona Deliverance Center replaced it. I no longer do secular counseling. I only work with born-again Christians now, God's people. Check out this article that came out recently. Quote, the American Psychological Association has launched a task force that will encourage, quote, awareness and inclusivity, unquote, for any kind of sexual impulse, according to CBN News. Quote, the APA has said the task force is dedicated to, quote, consensual, non-monogamy sex, and is advocating for people who practice polyamory, open relationships, swinging, relationship anarchy, and other types of ethical, non-monogamous relationships. That's their version of ethics, right? Polyamory is a person who has numerous sex partners, okay? We call them in Christianity serial adulterers. Open relationships, that's a relationship where 2 people are committed to each other or 2 people are married, but they agree to have sexual partners on the side. Swinging, that's where 2 people who are committed to each other or 2 people who are married attend parties where they have relationships with other people at the party. Relationship anarchy. Those are people who are married or committed to one another as a couple, but everything else goes. And the APA now calls that ethical, quote, here's the quote, ethical, non-monogamous relationships. Oh, those things work. They work great. Yeah, not. Quote, finding love and or sexual intimacy is a central part of most people's life experience, the APA said, right on their website. Quote, however, the ability to engage in desired intimacy without social and medical stigmatization is not a liberty for all. This task force seeks to address the needs of people who practice consensual non-monogamy, including their intersecting marginalized identities. Did you hear that? You gots to be kidding. However, the article says, Andre Van Mol, a California doctor and co-chairman of the Committee on Adolescent Sexuality for the American College of Pediatrics, said there is a, quote, cult of affirmation of people hoping to understand what he called marginal sexual behavior. In 1973, the APA removed homosexuality from its definition of mental disorders. In 2009, it officially rejected conversion therapy for those with same-sex attractions. What is conversion therapy? Well, you've seen it. It's in Christianity. They have boot camps for people that are homosexuals or people who are sex addicts. And they send them to these boot camps and they download truckloads of gospel into them. And then they leave the boot camps and they're okay for a little while and then they relapse. The problem with all these boot camps and the conversion therapists and the Christian counselors who are working with these people who have these sexual issues is that they don't have deliverance as part of their system. If you do not remove the lust demons from the person's body, they never recover from a sexual perversion illness. It's not possible. It is possible if someone has a strong will to block the behaviors and discontinue the sinful behavior. That is true. That can happen. And it does happen. Some people are able to overcome sexual disorders, alcoholism, drug addiction, and so on. But they're only doing it because they have a strong will and they have a strong support system, and they're no longer engaging those behaviors. They're doing what they call in the business CNS. They're clean and sober, but they are not cured. And in fact, they're told they're not cured by the organizations that run these treatment programs. In other words, you will always be a recovering sex addict. You will always be a recovering alcoholic or drug addict. Well, if you get the lust demons out of the person's body, they can go on and be completely cured. Back to the article, it says, quote, the task force on so-called consensual non-monogamy, that's what they're calling it, consensual non-monogamy, is more evidence that the APA has lost its way, said Liberty Council's founder and chairman, Matt Staver. The same people who want to deny counseling for people with unwanted same-sex desires or confusion also want to promote sexual anarchy and make open relationships a protected class. It's time to call out the APA for its unscientific bias that is harming people everywhere. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding, man. They're not harming people everywhere. They're spreading demons. And these lust demons are using the APA to legitimize these sinful sexual behaviors. Let's check back a ways, shall we? Let's go back almost 3,000 years or thereabouts, a little bit less than that. Leviticus chapter 18. Yahweh, the eternal God of the Hebrews, through Moses, gave a series of regulations to the Hebrews, the nation of Israel. And it says, and in Leviticus 18, it's outlined. Here it is. Let me go down the list with you. These were sinful sexual activities that were to be avoided by the Hebrews, and if they committed them, they were subject to severe punishments or even capital punishment. Check it out. One of them is having sex with, quote, anyone that is near kin to you. Sexual relations with your father or mother. Sexual relationships with your mother-in-law. Sexual relations with your stepmother. Sexual relations with your sister. Your father's daughter. In other words, your half-sister. Your half-sister from your mother. Even if they were born abroad or whether they were born at home. It doesn't matter. It's still a sin. Sex with your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter. Sex with your father's wife's daughter. Your father's sister. Your mother's sister. Your father's brother. Your daughter's-in-law. Brother's wife. On and on it goes. Leviticus 18, it lists all of them. Sex with a woman and her daughter. Her son's a woman's son. Her daughter or her daughter's daughter. That means you're having sex with your granddaughter or your step-granddaughter. That was prohibited, strictly prohibited. Your sister's wife. A woman who's menstruating. Your neighbor's wife. Homosexual behavior, Leviticus 18, verse 22, thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. Neither shall you lie down with a beast to defile yourself. Neither shall a woman stand before a beast to lie down. That was a woman having intercourse with an animal. Can you believe this? Romans chapter 1 outlines it as clear as a bell. God gave these people up, the people that lived before Noah, to uncleanness. Akatharsia is the Greek word for uncleanness. It means moral impurity. He gave them up through the lusts of their own heart. Epithemia is a Greek word for strong sexual passions. And they dishonored their own bodies. Atimazo is the Greek word for dishonor there. It means they use their bodies for shameful things. Listen, if you sense that you have any of these urges in your soul, you have these sexual urges for anybody in your family or committing any of these sexual sins, there's hope for you. There's help for you. The blood of Christ covers this. You can be forgiven and you can be delivered from these lust demons. 602-636-5800. The APA is wrong. The Bible is right.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.